Holocaust Perspectives is using our perspective of concepts, ideas, and latest news events that are reshaping the world that you live in to educate and inform so that the average person can prosper in this ever-changing world.
You can't handle the truth.
Hello, Everyday here, and I am thrilled to announce to you something that is going to change the way you think about finances and cryptocurrency. Let's be real. Navigating the world of finance, investing, and cryptocurrency can be overwhelming. With so many options, complex terms, and fast moving trends, it is easy to feel lost. And let's face it, most people don't even have the time to figure it all out. That's why I created the Holocaust Perspectives app. This app is your go-to resource for easy to understand finances, changes that are happening globally, and crypto education. It is designed to take the mystery out of investing, help you make informed decisions, and put you on the path to financial freedom. Sign up today, join our community, dive into the live calls, and start learning how to manage your money and grow your wealth on your terms. Let's take control of our financial futures together.
Physical subject, one material subject that we should focus on, in my opinion, it is very clear that the head of the snake is the financial system. We can argue till the end of time about who runs the world. Is it the Jesuits? Is it the reptilians? Is it the Illuminati? Is it the Freemasons? We can go on and on and on and on about this. But I don't think it is reasonable to even begin arguing about the mechanism that is used to exert this control. The mechanism is finance. The whole point of finance is to indebt, otherwise to enslave. What is a mortgage? I mean, what does that stand for? It's a death grip. So when you get a mortgage, you have a death grip held over you because you are in debt. You don't even own the house. The bank owns the house that loans you the money to buy the house, unless you're fortunate enough to have all the money to buy it outright. And even then, you can be taxed by the government, and if you fail to keep up with those taxes, the government can then take it from you. The whole system is based on a financial fraud, which effectively takes the power that we have, and it gives it to a tiny group of individuals who are running the world through the control of finance. With the infinite supply of money that we have allowed them to take, they have literally an infinite supply of money, and with that money, and from their psychopathic point of view, they have bought everything and everyone who can be bought. So those of us who cannot be bought, because we operate on a level that goes way beyond the material, we are not rewarded for such behavior, we are punished for such behavior. Change this one thing, we can solve every other problem you can name. I don't care what the problem is, I can bring it back to the financial system and an infinite supply of money for a bunch of psychopaths who are running the world, as opposed to an abundant supply of money for all of us. So in that sense, I'm very optimistic. This is not rocket science. I am not the smartest guy in the room. We can all understand this. And as soon as we do, we can exercise the same power that we had, but relinquished, and we can have a future for ourselves and our children. There's a lot to be optimistic about, quite frankly.
Hey y'all, what you doing? Sorry I couldn't get on last night. I had so much to do and I was so tired. Trying to get a lot of campaigning done for Trump before he comes Monday to South Carolina. But I want to jump on here and show you at least this paperwork that I promised I'd show you. And then I'm going to try to get on live tonight. We'll jump on and talk about some stuff. I don't know what time yet. Still got to do some more things for Trump's campaign before I can get on. But I did want to show you this. This is the paperwork that came from, there's like 50-something papers here, and I can't go through all of them because I don't have time, but there's a lot here. But it all came from the Office of Military Settlement Trust, United States of America. It was restricted at one time, but now it's not. Office of Military Settlement. And here's a letter. The letter says, Dear President Trump, known all men by these presidents, congratulations on your recent win of 2016 election. I envy not the enormous undertaking before you and the task to make America great again and enrich the lives of the American people. There are some that would subvert your presidency, yet, like others like us, who wish only for you to succeed and peacefully restore the Republic to what it once meant to us when the Founding Fathers issued a bill of equity to King George III. The Secretary and Administrator each may reject a gift when the rejection is in the interest of the government. I trust the gift will be used for the benefit of the people. Please find enclosed sufficient monies to offset the federal public debt. See that? The gift monies was delivered in honor to the Bureau of Fiscal Service at Parkersburg, West Virginia, 3:40 p.m. on March 21st, 2017 to Jamie Sailing. The instrument is directed to the attention of Commissioner Cheryl Morrow. You now have the opportunity of solvency and to issue interest-free USN, as did President Lincoln in 1862. So when you hear President Trump compare himself to Lincoln, this is why. Okay. These are all just different papers. They mean different things. I don't have time to go over them with you. USP tracking. Here's the paper we want to see. This is a file copy, so it has a line through it. But this is where the bank had transferred $21 trillion. $21 trillion, which is what our debt ceiling was at that 2017. So our debts have been paid off. What you see on the news is a lie. We do not have a debt. We are not $32 trillion in debt. We are not in debt. We are out of debt because of President Trump, and he is in the process of tearing down and dismantling the corporation and the Federal Reserve. So all of it's coming down. You will pay no more taxes. We will get money coming back to us. You will get a good amount coming back to you when this all happens and all the everything, the bank and all has been reset. The financial reset has done. United States of America, Department of State, but these are all papers that tells, comes along with it when they transferred the money. But there are also, you can see here John Kerry signed this. There are also papers in here where they gave each state $333 trillion. They put a lien on each state. That's so they can't spend money unnecessarily like they're not supposed to. So tell me this man is not smart. Our president is the smartest man there is. So this is your proof that our debt has been paid off. We do not have any debt. Don't listen to the news, period. We don't have any debt, and we're dismantling the system, so it's coming together so that we can see Nasara Jasara come to pass.
Because these banking reformations will impact the entire world, the IMF, World Bank, and other countries had to be involved. The reformations require that the Federal Reserve be absorbed by the U.S. Treasury Department, and the bank's fraudulent activities must be stopped and payment must be made for past harm. In 1998, the military generals who originally participated in the farmer claims process realized that the U.S. Supreme Court justices had no intentions of implementing the accords, so they decided the only way to implement the reformations was through a law passed by Congress. In 1999, a 75-page document known as the National Economic Security and Reformation Act was submitted to Congress, where it sat with little action for almost a year. Late one evening, on March 9, 2000, a written quorum call was hand-delivered by Delta Force and Navy SEALs to 15 members of the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House, who were sponsors and co-sponsors of Nasara. They were immediately escorted by the Delta Force and Navy SEALs to the respective voting chambers, where they passed the National Economic Security and Reformation Act. These 15 members of Congress were the only people lawfully allowed to hold office in accordance with the original 13th Amendment. Remember, British soldiers destroyed copies of the Titles of Nobility Amendment in the War of 1812 because it prevented anyone who had ties to the Crown of England from holding public office. Nasara is the most groundbreaking reformation to sweep not only this country, but our planet in its entire history. The act does away with the Federal Reserve Bank, the IRS, the shadow government, and much, much more. Nassar implements the following changes. Zeroes out all credit card, mortgage, and other bank debt due to illegal banking and government activities. This is the Federal Reserve's worst nightmare, a jubilee or a forgiveness of debt. Abolishes the income tax, abolishes the IRS. Employees of the IRS will be transferred into the U.S. Treasury National Sales Tax area. Creates a 14% flat rate non-essential new items only sales tax revenue for the government. In other words, food and medicine will not be taxed, nor will used items such as old homes.
Think about it. Donald Trump announces the External Revenue Service, and his goal is very simple. His goal is to abolish the Internal Revenue Service and let all the outsiders pay.
Do you believe at some point in time we could find a way, once the country's back on its feet and getting enough revenue and paid off our debt, do you think it's possible to find a way to eliminate federal taxes?
There is a way. There is a way. I mean, if what I'm planning comes out, it's a great question, by the way.
Everyone could attain the
pretty sophisticated.
And yeah, I have a real shot. We're taking in tremendous amounts of money. The answer is yeah. I think there's a real shot. I actually say there's a shot at, we have the Internal Revenue Service. We could use the External Revenue Service, and we wouldn't even need the Internal Revenue Service.
Can we reform taxes to eliminate the need to file?
Well, it's possible. If the tariffs work out really well, you wouldn't need income tax. You know that. If tariffs work out well, our country at its richest was during from 1870 to 1913. That was the richest, and we were an all-tariff nation.
And it's possible we'll do a complete tax cut, because I think the tariffs will be enough to cut all of the income tax.
Weeks ago, he implemented QFS. The IRS, he keeps announcing different phases of the termination of the IRS. The IRS does not legally exist. The 16th Amendment was never ratified by Congress. I have a letter from the Commissioner of the IRS written in 1985 that says that if people come to you and want all their taxes back, you have to give it to them, because we've been operating illegally because of an Indiana court case that occurred in March of 1985. So when we look at that, what Trump is doing, he's trying to ease the information. You can't tell people everything you're going to do all at once. You have to ease them into it. And the reason is because change takes a long time. We have probably 30% of the people that somewhat understand what's going on, 10% who have a real good idea, and then you got 70% that have no idea. All they know is they like Trump, but they don't understand why. And so when we look at the Federal Reserve, he's already eliminated the Federal Reserve, but he hasn't told us that. My understanding is that in 2019 or 2020, he actually turned it over to the Treasury Department. And so it's been under the Treasury Department since then.